Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters, creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I'm going to take a look at this one. This is from Spire Comics, Adventure with the Brothers. Hang in there, by Hartley from 1979. Now, for those who may not be familiar with Spire Comics, it was a line of comic books being published by, Spire. And they published, had been publishing religious books. And then in 72 started doing comics. And had cartoonist Hartley producing those comics. And Hartley is best known for his work on Archie comics. And the Spire stuff, they adapted some of the books that prose books that the publishers had previously been producing, and then adapted them into comic forms, such as like the one I did last time I did a Spire book, which was Crossfire, about the cop who died, and Crossing the Switchblade, and some various other things. And they also had, I'll cover more at another time, they licensed Archie characters, because they already had the in with Hartley, who worked for Archie Comics. And they licensed the Archie characters and had a whole series of religious comics featuring the Archie characters, which unfortunately a lot of the fans at the time didn't distinguish between the two. They thought they were legitimate Archie comics, and some people still do, but they're not Archie comics. They are Spire religious comics featuring the Archie characters, but they were not produced by Archie. And one thing is that I've also talked a bit about the Chick Publishing, who also produced a lot of the religious comics throughout the 70s. And as well as what I last covered was a bunch of the religious tracts, which are the small booklets in comic form, but they also produce full-sized comics. But one thing is that the Spire books are more, shall I say, friendly, reader friendly, and not as preachy. They just kind of put some of the religion out there, and some of the tenets of the Christian religion, without going whole hog into the like the Chick books do, into false history, implied anti-Semitism, overt anti-Catholicism, and anti-science. This just stays away from that. It's much more friendly. Well, then in the this particular book is from 79, and I think this is the first one of the Brothers series. I'm not sure, because they're not really numbered in that fashion. But they had I've been able to find references to 3 Brothers series. And these are more adventure. It's original stories, and they are more of a more adventurous nature, with very not as preachy as the Crossfire book was, and even that was much less preachy than the Chick books, because when you're reading the Chick comic books, they start with some kind of storyline, which then storytelling is completely disintegrated for overt, heavy-handed preachiness. And these books are much lighter on the preachiness, and this one's even more so. It puts just a little bit in here and there in the story, and this story, it's a fun adventure story. And I haven't really enjoyed reading this. Now these brothers, it's a double thing. Because, okay, they're the two teenage boys and their mother and father, and their parents are missionaries in some, I presume it's somewhere in South America, because they mentioned Piranha, South American jungle, and they're missionaries to the natives, but the father is also a doctor, so he's a doctor for that area. And then the two boys are twins, Pete and Tom. They look just alike except for the glasses. And but then the part of the gag is their last name is Brothers, so they are the brothers. And they are brothers in the sense of in the religious context too. So that's 3 contexts of brothers. But and this book is fun. It has a lot of good daring do and saving, and a lot of pre-preparation that I don't know how they could have done. But before I take a look at that, I wanted to give a little shout out to another YouTube channel that I've come across. He only has a few videos out so far, and has probably only been online for a couple of weeks. And that is Tom's Comic Curios, and I really enjoyed the videos I've watched on there, and it's just unusual comics, which I delve into as well. But so that's Tom's Comic Curios. Okay, now let's go take a quick look inside the Brothers. And as you see from this cover illustration by Al Hartley, that it's hanging there, and the title obviously is derived from this hang glider we see the one brother hanging from, and for it's fun-filled adventurous covers. So let's see. Of course, the inside covers advertisement for the other stuff, and it starts right off the bat. No preamble. It just nothing. It doesn't give you any background or anything. It just jumps right into the rebels have captured another village, and you kind of figure stuff as it's going on. So they're in a country someplace where there's a civil war of some kind going on, and these rebels are going through capturing villages and the like, and they're headed right here where they're at. And one thing I like in this book, I want to show you this here. It says, this is for whoever had passed it out originally, for a free Bible study course, yada, 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 Riverside, California. I don't know if that's still valid or not. But the artwork, Al Hartley is a fine cartoonist, very fine cartoonist, and this is the one that I like the best of his realistic style, as opposed to his Archie style. although it's still reminiscent of Archie, but it's nice, clean, slick, and professional looking. And this is a very interesting page layout here for first page, because it's basically a splash page. You can see the explosion and the villages and stuff, with inset stuff. And they said they're coming. We've got to get out of here. And the father, who's the doctor, Dr. Brothers, says, "Boys, get your mother out of here and get her to safety." And then they get to the jeep. Said, "You've got to come with us, Dad." They'll said, "No, they'll just destroy everyone in the village, and I've got to stay." Said, "But they'll kill you too." "No, they need doctors. The rebels need doctors, so they won't kill me." And this is a really nice drawing here. I like all the village detail. Of course, you can see the storytelling in the jeep. They're taking off, but you can see the detail along the river, and gives you an idea. Of course, it's in the jungle and a ramshackle village that the people are living in. And they're heading out, and they pull over, and the mother says, "Where are we going?" I said, "Well, we're going this way, Mom." And the boys knew this. Of course, they knew the rebels were coming, and they were already prepared. They had boats set here, and they start going down the river, taking their mother to safety. And here's another really nice one. The nice detail in the crocodiles, as well as the jungle. And here's where they mentioned the piranha, and said, "We've got something set up." So while Tom keeps taking their mother farther down the river to safety, Pete jumps into the tree, says, "Keep going," because he's got something planned. The rebels are rolling into the village, and Dr. Brothers goes out to meet them, and "I've seen what you guys can do," and yada yada. I said, "What's a Yankee doing here?" I said, "I'm a doctor." And says, "What's your game? What's your game? What's your racket?" Because the foreigners are only here to do something bad, take advantage of the people or something. And says, "No, he's good." Villagers say how he's good and stuff. And here, Pete is hiding in the jungle and watching from a distance as they run in. They start separating the villagers, get the men and older boys off, because they're going to either have them do labor or turn them into child soldiers, which is what they're doing, which is some of these rebel soldiers are, which we find out later. It says, "No, they're taking the route I expected." So what's this? Boom, 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 boom. They already had explosives. Now, I have no clue where they could have gotten all these explosives and the detonators and everything, and had all the opportunity to get all this stuff set up in advance. So they set off with the explosives, which causes havoc with the rebel guards. And he says, "Okay, they take their uniforms and get ready for action with their guns." So then he goes, "I've got to go check on the village." And then here they are. Now this part isn't realistic, because they're not going to be doing that just yet. But they're already trying to brainwash the kids, and they throw the Bible out. And they have little hints throughout the story of the religious aspects. Like here it says, "The enemies of God always throw the Bible out of this classroom." That's a reference to something else. And they're already trying on the brainwashing. Well, Pete jumps in there and starts fighting with the guards, and gets a whack on the head for his trouble. And they take him, he's unconscious, and they take him to his dad, because he's got an injury, who, of course, he's the doctor. And the general comes in and said, "Another Yankee?" Said, "Yes, he's my son." And all this other stuff. And what if I let him die? There are others. And he says, "No, all life is precious. He's my son, and because I'll take care of your people too. Because all life is precious." And then the boy was faking. He was unconscious, but not as badly injured as they made out. They have a hidden trap door with a tunnel, and says, "No, now get out of here." He says, "No, Dad, I can't escape. Besides, Pete, okay, that was Tom. Pete's coming now. So he goes, Mom's safe. He pops up, and now they're going to switch places. Take his glasses off so that they can't tell. And they switch places, saying he's the injured one, while the other one, here you see, gets out through the tunnel, gets back with the villagers who have got the uniforms. But the general comes in. He notices, oh, glasses. He didn't see them before. And then he notices that the brother has got a different colored shirt on. He knows something's amiss. He goes outside, and then suddenly, they're still griping, arguing, throwing in a little religion, and then whoop, 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 sound effects. So here sounds like a chopper, and then kablooey, all kinds of explosions and stuff. And they hit the deck, and it turns out they had the sound system rigged up with sound effects tapes. No telling where they would have got the sound effects tapes. Out in the middle of the jungle, just like the explosives. And then it's coming more. And the troops are coming, and really fakes them all out. Gives them a chance to get the people out of the village. And this one guard says, "Take me with you. I don't want to be here." You see how they overran his village, burned his village, and killed his people, and made him a soldier. And then here's another exciting. Then they set off a bunch of fireworks. Kablooey, kablooey, kablooey. No telling where they got all these fireworks out in the middle of the jungle. But here they are. They're going. So we've got to get into this gorge. And the boys have gone ahead while to set things up. While the people are heading there. They've got this set up. How are we going to get across the gorge? We've got that taken care of. He gets the hang glider. This is where the cover illustration comes in. He's got this hang glider. No telling where they got the hang glider in the middle of the jungle. And a rope. He goes across the gorge with the rope and sets up slide for life rig so that they can get across on the wire, and they start getting all the people across there before the soldiers can get there, and everyone's on the way. And there's just the one last of the brothers left. You can see this over here, buying time. No telling where they got the smoke bombs, but they got a bunch of smoke bombs. Buying time for them to get out there. Finally, just the last one of the brothers left, and the rope snaps. And he's trapped on the other side with the general and the villains. Oh, he's going to get him, but then he's still got that hang glider. So he gets the hang glider and flies to safety, and the general falls to his death in the gorge. And everyone's safe. Yada yada yada. And then there's a little thing here about Al Hartley and Spire Comics, and then of course more Spire Comics on the background. And it's the religious aspects, as I said, are not as heavy-handed as even some of the other Spire books. And it's a good fun read without being too preachy. It still gets the point across more or less, and is a fun read. And I like Al Hartley's art in this. The story is very well told visually, and while there are so many gaps in the story, it's still a fun little read. But there's no way they could have been that prepared, stuck in the middle of the jungle. They could have just gotten weapons and whatever. But that's all. So, thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. What do you think of the Spire books? Have you ever read any of them? You don't find them as much anymore, except in the dollar bins, and because they stopped being reproduced in 1988. And what do you think about the Al Hartley art? So I know some people don't like Al Hartley, but I think he's fine. I like his stuff. And or what about the Brothers' adventure itself compared to some of the other Spire stuff? Well, that's it then. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave that comment. And remember, comics are art.